Hello and welcome to part 2 of the How to Make a 20-page mini comic series. Hopefully you watched the first part, and that is where we learned how to take sheets of paper, number them, and turn them into a template for the book on the computer. If you don't have that completed, you can um, look below and download it. Um, I've made that available to everyone if you don't want to go through the actual knowing of the step of how to make the template. Now that you have a template, you need content. And um, once again, it's all about planning. So you've got 20 pages to fill. What are you going to fill it with? What order of things is there going to be? Of course, the cover is on the cover, so that's where your artwork for the cover, hopefully you'll put some kind of logo on it for the series and your company and all that kind of stuff. We'll get to filling in all that blanks later. First, I wanted to show I'm running Time Traveler right now as a 20-page mini comic series. So each issue uses the same template, and therefore the content of the different issues is basically set up. Hopefully this is coming clear, and you can see the issue. It's got the cover, it's got inside cover ad, then I usually do a text page, and then the content of the main story, uh, which is 4 to 10 or 4 to 11, depending on how I've written each individual story. Then I leave a couple pages for text, which means um, letters pages, or otherwise used. I've put in things like um, poetry, other things like that, as far as just filling in space when I don't have a letter to print or whatever. Um, in the parentheses after that is the backup story. That's the pages that I have to fill with backup story material, which I've basically planned and written for each issue, depending on how it goes. Sometimes I've had to move it around, depending on if it was a team up with somebody else, or otherwise just make it fit. So then the 1920 we're doing we're using right now for the United Fanzine Organization checklist. Um, the checklist is designed basically for a digest size page, not a mini comic size page. So I split it into a page and a half. And I'll show you how I do that later, probably on the next video. But I also included ad for something in the very back. So that is how I plan the content of what's going into this issue. Obviously, you don't have to follow exactly how I do it. You can plan your content any way you want, but I do suggest writing it down, having the plan. So if you know you're working with 3 different people to come up with content, you're going to put this many pages here, this many pages there, that many pages there for the different parts. And when they all come together, from the written to the drawn to the computer ready files, you know what's going to be going where. And each file can be named for the page that it's going to be, which will then easily transfer onto your template and otherwise make life easier for you. Just to show how I'm currently drawing my mini comics, I do a writing stage, which is basically I quickly draw a rectangle on the paper. I don't use a ruler, I don't do anything like that. I put the elements on the page that I want to have and kind of sketch out the artwork in very crude fashion. I don't do faces usually. I just kind of make sure I know who's who and where's where, and I fill in the text quickly, and I write really fast and just get the script done and laid out on the pages as fast as I possibly can. Um, that gets me my scripts, which I can then either, if I'm drawing it myself, which I am drawing the Time Traveler series myself right now, um, I can just take that and do the perfected pages after that I'm going to show you, or I can scan those scripts in to the computer, make a PDF, and send it to whoever's going to draw it, which is also a very valid way of getting your work done and working with anyone anywhere, which is always a plus. Show some of the final artwork for the current issue, which I am putting together. This is issue number 24 that I'm showing. I'm only putting together number 20 for the issue that we're building with this series. So I work ahead, of course. So finished art, black and white. I do my text, bubbles, and word lettering all freehand right now. I'm not doing, if I was going to be doing it on the computer, which I do know how to do, I just am not doing it currently. It's a personal choice, and you can make that personal choice. I would be leaving the space for these word bubbles completely blank, and then adding them as layers on the final image on mine. And I will get around to showing those more advanced things later in this series, but right now I'm just showing how to get your content planned and prepared. So you take your final art, you scan it into your computer, and you do whatever you need to do to get it ready for print, which that's going to be next episode, is taking the scanned image from, because usually when you scan a black and white image, it's going to have fuzziness and others, things that need to be fixed digitally before you put it into your template to print. So we'll get to that later, next segment. But for now, now that we've planned our content, we know what's coming in for the issue, we have the files done. I'm just basically going to show how to fill in this here template, which I've already got up on screen on Scribus. I'm going to turn my camera so that you can see what's going on over here. I wish I could get this a little more centered here. I actually don't need to be. There we go. That's going to show enough, I think. So basically, I have over there opened up my file that has all the pages for issue number 20 ready to go. Obviously, I color my pages digitally and do different things to them to make them camera ready. So I've got that ready to go into the template. Each page is numbered for what page it's going to be. So drag, drop page 1, and then you're going to notice, oh wow, that is bigger than the page it's supposed to be filling. So to shrink it, we're going to go grab the bottom left corner. We're going to hit Control, because if you don't hit Control, as you can see, the square actually go any direction you want, and it'll stretch the art for you. So if you hit Control, boom, now it's in perfect proportion shrinking wise. And I can shrink it down and fit it in my thing. And you're going to notice that the artwork inside that didn't actually shrink, just the frame did, which is fine because we're going to right click that. These are Scribus shortcuts, and you'll want to get to know them if you're using Scribus. There's obviously other programs, Photoshop, PageMaker, Microsoft Publisher that you can do this in, and it will do different ways. But of course, Scribus is a free program that anyone can download and use, and it's what I use simply because I know that if I send a template to someone else anywhere in the world and they don't have the money for buying a Adobe license or whatever like that, they can download this program for free and still work with me. So we're going to adjust image to frame. Click. Now you'll see that sometimes it goes off center from the frame. We're also going to adjust frame to image, and now you'll see that frame has caught up to the size that we want it to be. I talked previously about the margins. You want to look around here, make sure that you're approximately 1/4 inch to at most a 1/2 inch, but I use about 1/4 inch on all edges. You don't want to come all the way down to the cut line like that. If you can see where my mouse is down on the bottom there, because anything on that cut line will be cut, and that's not good. So you need to be up that just that little bit, and then when you put the other page in, you'll see here, I'll do that. Here's page 4. Page 4 is down, so we're going to need to adjust what we're looking at here so you can see it better. Not a big fan of this here video camera. It's not really letting me do exactly what I want to all the time, but it's all I have, so I'm gonna have to deal with it. So dang it. All right, let's do it from there. So we got the top page already in, and now we have this page. I'm going to grab a corner, hit Control, do the same thing, bring it down to size. I like to just match it to whatever other size I've already got for the first one. So I'll do that, just like that. I'm going to adjust frame to image. Oops, I did that backwards. Oops. You adjust image to frame first. That's important, otherwise it does what I just did. So here's my correct size. Adjust image to frame. Adjust frame to image. And put in place. So now we see that page is upside down because the 4 tells us it needs to be facing the other direction. We're going to go up on the program over here to where it says rotation right there. I'm going to click on the 0 and just put a 1, 8, and then click anywhere else, and you'll see that that picture is now flipped around. Come back and put it in place again, and it is in the perfect position for printing now. That is how we fill our template for the artwork. There is, of course, more to it than just doing that. Let's go ahead and put a logo in here just for showing what's going on with that. I'm going to go grab the TIFF version of the logo. I'm going to drag it, put a copy of it on the screen. TIFFs and GIFs you can have clear backgrounds on, so that is why that is like that, so that you can put it in a layer, whatever layer you put on last is going to be front, and you can change the ordering of the layer as you want. Obviously, if I click on the image and go here to level, I can raise and lower the level. So if I raise the level of a cover picture, I am not sure why it's not. Oh, there it goes. There you go. You can put it over the top of the logo, but that's not what we want. It just shows, and you can also just raise to top any particular image anytime. Now, this logo is not the correct size that I want. It too will be grab a corner, shrunk down just to frame, just to image, and moved. Let's see if I'm showing this correctly here. Put where we want it. So I want it there. I also have my company logo. Which is in another folder. So okay, folks. Looks like I screwed something up there. Suddenly the video stopped, and everything I did after it for about 15 minutes wasn't there. So I'm going to have to do it again. Anyway, we're back, and I am ready to get going again. We were about to put logos on. That. Get you up closer and more centered. Alrighty, and we are working with the cover. Therefore, I'm going to enlarge it. And let's see, get a little more light on the screen. Make it more light. Yeah. I do not like my wish I could set my camera on my shoulder because that would make it a better view for everybody. But so this will get most of it, so we'll be happy with that. Let's get it even bigger. All right, there's the corner we're working with. Now I want to put my company logo and issue number box, and since I normally put the UFO logo down in the bottom left corner, and this image has that in the bottom left corner, I'm going to put the UFO logo right underneath all of that. Um, this process will show you how to organize text over art and otherwise make it so that you can build your text pages. Um, I'm not going to be showing how to build a simple text page. You can fill those text pages any way you want. You can type them out, scan them in, and do anything you want, however you want. Content is really up to you. I am just going to show how I will build the logo and issue number box with Scribus. Um, so first we're going to go and grab my dinosaur logo. I do not want to use the smallest version that I have. That goes on the website. Um, I want to use a larger one because that will make a more clear image on the screen or on the printing when it prints. So as we can see, there is the logo. Now, I remembered a cool trick um, as far as shrinking things. We're going to right click and we're going to adjust image to frame before we resize, and that will mean it's thinking. Hello, please work. I really need a better computer so that I can do things easier. Okay, we're going to grab that corner. We're going to hit the control button and we're going to shrink it. And now, as we shrink it, I didn't get the corner. Undo that one. Grab corner. All right. So now as I shrink that sucker down, I don't have to redo the resizing of it as I go. It will just, grab the wrong item again. Let's do this without going over the top of the other image, because I seem to be grabbing it a lot. Alrighty, so that's about the right size that we want, and it fits nicely in the little spot that we want. Shrinking it has given a little tiny bit of a side thing, so we're going to adjust the frame to the image, and that gives us that. All right, now the next two elements that we want are going to be, it's thinking again, come on computer. I am playing some Bruce Dickinson in the background for your enjoyment as I work on this. Sometimes saving your project will clear up some of the used memory that's going on in the background. Okay, now I'm going to put in an issue number box, and I'm going to put in a price and year date box. You'll notice that they are not white, they're clear. So we're going to go over to the tools on the side. And yes, these tools on the side are um, basically there for whatever you need to do. You don't have to go looking through the stuff at the top very much on Scribus. I am going to go to colors. And we'll see that right now it says none. I'm going to make it white. I'm going to click the other one. I'm going to make it white. And boom, just like that, I've got the two boxes I need. Set you back down. In this one, I'm going to put a number 20. And we're going to use the text features here to center it. And we're going to increase the font size so that it's nice and big for the box. Just want to draw it down a little bit, see if I can remember how to do that. Enter. Space. No, that's not it. Come on, computer. Quit freaking out on me. Not happy that I'm doing that. Come on, let's go. Let's close some other programs, I guess. I don't need my mail up. And I don't need that browser up. And I guess I don't need music, but I really like it, so. All right, here we go. Text, fixed line spacing. First line offset. Paragraphs and effects. No paragraph effects. Let's use the thing. Columns and text distances. So top, let's just add, oop, one is way too much. Let's try putting in 1/10 of an inch. Too much still. 0.01. What does that give us? 0.05. What does that give us? There we go. That's exactly what we want. That was using the text feature of columns and text distances. So I got that spaced down a little bit so it's not right on the top of the line. Okay, we're going in the other box. We want, it's October, so we'll go OCT 2018. And since the box is too small to see all of that, we're going to enlarge it for a second. Double click, space. We're going to go over to where it says text, regular point, the text size, the font size, and we're going to down click the font size until they sit nicely next to each other. Going to center it. We'll use the column and text distances here to put that at. Let's try 03 on that one just to see how it goes. That looks perfect. All right. Next line down, we're going to put the price. And I'm currently selling the 20-page mini comics full color at $1 and 25. I heard prices are going to be going up on stamps again, another 5 cents, so that'll be going to $1.30 soon, I guess. I need to size down that font. Okay. Now, I want to put I always put the PPD on the end of it so that it shows the postage paid. That way people aren't confused when they buy it from me in person at a show that it's cheaper than that. I think I need to size this down just another notch. We're at 12. Let's go to, no, we're at 12. Let's go down to 7, center it. Okay, we need to close that line spacing. So instead of the fixed line spacing of 15 that's already there, I'm going to shorten the line spacing until it's nicely in the box. Now I can edit this box to be the right size. Just like so. I'm going to use the up and down arrows on my keyboard to, I don't think those ones are exactly right. Let's get it even closer so we can see. Yeah, this one needs to be just a tiny touch different so that it matches where that is. Size it so that it's just right with the logo above it. All right, now this one, perfect. And let's hit the center so that they match. That one's low enough. Put that one up just a touch. Suddenly I'm not centered. Let's okay, I'm not sure exactly why it's not centering properly here, but we will notch it just a little tiny bit that way and see if that fixes it. see, this box might be affecting it. Let's take a look. For some reason we aren't getting our spacing correct. I guess maybe it went too high. Alright, we don't need to make it any smaller, so we'll just leave it there. We'll put that one back, and we'll put that one just even with it, like so. And it's almost there. All right. So there is that box. I think I might actually be able to lower that just one more spot. All right. We're close enough, I think. I mean, you're talking 1/10 of a pixel probably in the final say of it. That looks just about perfect. Let's check this top one. That looks perfect all the way around. Zoom back out on it. Now, like I said, we also want the UFO logo on here. I'm going to go grab that from this folder. And there it is. Plop it down. Oh, mistake. I'm not sure if I did this on the last thing, but I just accidentally put the UFO logo into the frame that was the cover of the book. So it has taken it over. If you do a mistake like that, there is an undo button. And thankfully, the undo button works. Just like that. Okay, let's redo that. You want to make sure you drop new images onto spots that there aren't already a box. Otherwise, you will take the box over. I'm going to do the trick where I said adjust frame to image. And I'm going to wait for the computer to think. Now the computer is syncing again, which is very annoying. Probably making all of you tune out, not listen to my video anymore. But these are the real life situations that we find ourselves in, working with the things that we have. Perfection would be nice, but it seldom comes in favor of our realities. All right, there it is. Just image to frame, just frame to image, and now the image is to here. And it should, yeah, there we are. There we go. We're adjusting the image and the frame size at the same time now if you want to. And this particular image has a bleed off on the side over here, if you can see where my mouse is, that has clear underneath it, so it's pretty easy to work with. You just don't put it right on the edge of things. Let's do our best to match the corners, and then I can finish sizing down so that the black part of the logo matches the boxes above it. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We'll zoom back out now. I'm going to hit save because that seems to clear up memory when you save it. Alright, there is my cover. I have created text boxes and logos for it. You can, from here, I'm going to turn myself around. You can, from here, do all your text pages and such like that. I'm going to show real quick. My inside cover is an image that has text and image properties to it that I created, and it basically shows the characters of this series. The other inside cover page, which is page number 3, which would be upside down on the template, you can basically create your text pages and then flip them upside down right on the template pages. Just wanted to show a couple of the elements here. I keep issue number, published by, how to get a hold of me, copyright information, website, and what printing this is the first printing, 150 copies, and I always sign and number my mini comics. You don't have to, obviously, because content of the mini comic is up to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to make your comics. I will show in further videos how to do certain things with image properties and such like that to fix artwork online. I mean, not online, but on the computer, so that you can have nice clear printing when you go to print. That'll be a different video. We have covered in this episode planning the content of your book, planning how to make each of your finished art pages have a page number that corresponds to one that's going to be in your template. We have determined how easy it is to resize an image. You always want to have your images larger than the final print size of your template, so that you aren't expanding images to fit sizes, which makes them blurry. You want to take bigger pictures, higher resolution art, and shrink it down to the sizes that you want to print it at. It makes it clearer. I showed how to turn pages upside down on the template so that they fit properly and will print correctly in the spaces that you want to print them in. Other than that, I mean, I have a text page in the middle. I have poetry that I put inside. You can plan your content any way you want so that it fits into your template and There's a checklist in the back. However else you want to do things. You're going to have to learn how to play with Scribus if that's the program that you're using. It's got a lot of tools. They're all nice professional. You can do all kinds of advanced things with it. A lot of it you can learn online through tutorials and such that they have available. I'm showing these basics because it's the simplest stuff that can get you from point A to point B of having a printed mini comic as fast as possible. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I'm going to fill out the rest of my template and have it ready to print for the next one, when we will show how to make sure your pages print properly in the right positions on a desktop printer. Then we will use the paper cutter stapler to cut, collate, staple a finished mini comic, so we'll have that 20-page mini comic in our hand. Other than that, future episodes will also show you some of the details on artwork, so you get good resolution and what to do with any digitally incorrect fuzziness or echoes of pencil lines and things like that, how to eliminate them on the computer. Also, I'll show at some point how I do the coloring. We'll go down those lines. Those are all little things that you can learn that I know how to do, so I might as well put them online and let people know. The one thing I can't tell you to do is have any control over what your content is going to be. I want to make sure everybody knows your content is your content. Don't let anyone ever tell you that what you're making is inferior. Obviously, artwork, it basically looks like an 8-year-old drew it, but I still tell really in-depth emotional stories somehow, and they come out and people seem to like it because they keep reading it and keep telling me they like it. So I have a lot of fun making my mini comic, and that's the most important part of all of this, is that you're having fun doing what you have to do. Whether you're telling epic cosmic story, or if you're telling one-page gags that go one per page in your mini comic. Don't let anyone say that your content is any way inferior or not worthy of being printed and shared. Do what you want to do. Enjoy what you're doing and share it with others. That's what writing is all about. I've been at it for 30 years, never really made any, but yet I still love to do it. So here we are. This is the end of this video. I thank you all for watching. Do not forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and share this with however many people you can, because, hey, periodical paradise is here, and we're going to keep coming back. And don't forget to watch the weekly episodes where I talk about your comics. All right. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.